I want my Rockland World Radio, baby. It's not just radio, it's Rockland World Radio. RocklandWorldRadio.com.
Anatoly D Experience, heard on Rockland World Radio, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Tuesday evening. Be sure to check out the archives of past programs off the program page. Now the host of the Anatoly D Experience, Anatoly D.
Good evening, friends and enemies. Good to see you again. Oh, please. It's too much. I just can't stand all this adulation. I'm going to get a swell head. But we're going to, I'm very late celebrating. Wait. I'm getting, that's a good, better voice there. I was getting stuck in throat. The voice was from here to here. So we've got to make sure it stays in this register. So St. Patrick's Day was this weekend. Did you celebrate not Thanksgiving, St. Patrick's Day? Did you thanks Patrick's Day?
Oh man, actually I got to work on St. Patrick's Day.
You did?
Yes.
It was a good night for magicians.
For them, not for me.
Yeah, that's right. Basically, people make the beer disappear like that. It's magic.
It comes back fairly quickly too.
You just rental. It's circulatory system. It comes and goes in 2 seconds.
You never know which end it's going to come out from.
Okay. So anyway, this is another Anatoly D magic experience with my guest here, Omar Illusion, a man whose sisters all are dating on Match.com, because every one of them, you say, I can't believe I'm sitting here with this woman. Where did they come from? Actually, I'm thinking of starting my own internet dating. It's basically be called BlindDate.com. It's only for blind people. It guarantees success. You don't have to lie about picture, or you have to make sure that you don't lie about Braille. You said, I could see, no, easily 10 years older than that Braille is telling me. Because, internet dating is not for the faint of heart. It really isn't. I mean, I did my share of internet. I used to have this thing with internet dating. Did you ever go internet dating?
I can't say.
I think that's a no. What I did was I had this internet date, and I showed up, and this woman was behind. She was standing in front of the bar. And all of a sudden, I was looking across, and I said, she's clearly 20 years older than photo. I wanted to say to her, where is your great-granddaughter? So, where is your great-granddaughter in photo? Because clearly, you're one step out of the home, Toots. But I didn't want to say, I've got more class than that. Not much more class, but a little. So what I did is I went across the street, and there was a glass, very reflective, and she didn't see me, but I was looking at her through reflection and glass, and all she saw was guy back facing towards store with blow-up dolls, not knowing why he was even standing there. But what happened was that I called her. I said, hello. This is Anatoly D. I'm stuck on Major Deegan. I'll call you back. Sorry, I can't make date. Goodbye. She never knew. I never met her. But it was like, you're sitting there with someone and you don't know whether to, get them some kaopectate or a beer. One of those things. So anyway, they said to me, Anatoly, were you always funny? No, when I was a child, I was an accountant. So let me say, you've been doing magic for first of all, this is Omar Olusion, whose show is Atlantic Magic,
Yes.
And it occurs at 10225 Atlantic Avenue, corner of 108th Street, across from Carvel, where you buy one trick, you get one free.
We sound like Mexican pimp now.
Some of the tricks are called Cookie Opus, Fudgy the Whale, and of course, Cookie Puss. It's like you're thinking about you were sitting around, well, I need to name a new treat. I'll call it Cookie Puss. That's a great name, Tom. That's great. And for the St. Patrick, the Cookie Opus.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
This is that extra sorry.
The O, you need the O and the puss. When you have an O and puss together, you can't go wrong, right?
Technically, it's the same thing, just different words.
When you got O and puss, it just extends into Nirvana, or even further than that, Kew Gardens. So now you're El Salvadorian.
Yes, I am.
I'm East Tel Avivian.
East Tel Aviv.
Yes.
Part of France is that?
It's Marseille. Now your first. That's very classy. You see, we spare no expense in promotion on this show. I mean, it's amazing what extent we go to make sure there's adequate publicity for guests. So I was under the impression that you were once almost beaten to death by showing up in SpiderMan uniform when they wanted SpongeBob SquarePants.
Now, first of all,
How can you do a thing like that?
see, the thing is, that wasn't me. I was sent out by another agency. I get called often by different agencies throughout New York. So
FBI, CIA, you're the undercover magician for the CIA.
But yeah, man, I was doing this one kid show out in Far Rockaway, and the whole thing was SpongeBob. Her main thing is everything had to be SpongeBob. Now, I didn't know any of this until about 20 minutes before I had to be at the park. So I get there, I get all my stuff ready, I do my show, I got everything perfect. I go to change, and she comes knocks on the door so she can check out the costume. Meanwhile, it's spandex that I have to wear as Spider-Man, so I'm thinking, okay.
Were you chafing? A bit. Spandex always chafes. It always rides up the crack in my butt.
So, oh, you've done Spider-Man before, huh?
That's right. It reminds me of a joke. The guy goes to the doctor. He's got the leather sticking out of his ass. He said, "Doctor, is it serious?" The doctor looks at him and says, "My friend, this is the tip of the iceberg."
Ah, you say.
Go ahead. So continue with the story.
Yeah, man. So she comes in, she sees that it's a Spider-Man, and she starts freaking out. She goes and tells her guests, "Oh my God, it's the wrong costume, this and that." I didn't know any better. I thought it was perfectly fine. But long story short, she tells her husband. Her husband has her friends there. And about 2 minutes later, I'm in spandex running to my car with a friend of mine carrying a bunny, a bird, suitcase, and just getting, I'm going to say around 20 people surrounding my car with 2x4s. All for over the set.
And they were going to, and if you came out to Spider-Man, that would have been it. I mean, that's amazing that people actually try to annihilate you for coming in a Spider-Man costume.
I don't know what to say, man. I really don't. I all I could say was sorry, and I did what I could. But
it reminds me
SpongeBob
of the time I showed up at the Bar Mitzvah wearing a Yasser Arafat costume. It didn't go well. I said, "What? You don't have a joke? Can't take a joke?" You know, it's like when I learned the English language. It was very hard to get the nuance of English. You know, like all of these ways, like, you know, you've got blow job. What does it actually mean? It doesn't relate to the actual process.
It's a balloon twister.
That's right. No, that's what you say. The agency sends you out. Listen, Omar, you've got to do a couple of blowjobs.
Well, depending on how much.
But you know what it means. No, you know it doesn't mean that. You know it means that you're going to make the balloon into like whatever, Road Runner, or, you know,
like the blow up ladies.
Goofy. You're going to what? You're going to make a David Blaine balloon. It'll be floating over English Channel. Or this is David Blaine and Lucite. This is David Blaine hanging from a wire. What the hell is the matter with that guy? It's just like he takes magic and masochism to new levels.
That's what happens when you're a pothead, you know.
Like he was thinking, yeah, man, it'll be good.
Yeah.
I'll be in Lucite for 3 days. I'll be able to chill.
Oh my God! I still don't know how he went to the bathroom.
How does he go to the bathroom? That's what everybody wants to know.
Well, supposedly there was a tube.
A tube.
A tube.
Into where?
A tube. To a
Not YouTube.
To a professional blowjobber.
To a blowjob.
In reverse.
Because it's like, you're in lucite for 3 days. You've got to. I mean, it's got to be a very long tube. It's got to be a very difficult lucite.
That all depends on genetics,
Far away. But then again, he wasn't eating.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Which brings to the issue: how can you not eat for 3 days on the lucite?
Well, he didn't eat for like almost a week, I think, prior to that, just to make sure everything was emptied out.
Boy, that guy's got control like you would believe.
I can imagine. 3 days, no
I
sex.
bet. I bet he could stay 3 days under the loose light. He wouldn't last 5 minutes with my wife. Not 5 minutes. She would make him insane. It would be incredible. So as you survive that, and okay, so let's see a couple of tricks. This is the fun part of the show.
Couple of tricks.
No, I don't mean to be sad. No, I don't mean to say in disparaging way.
No,
I'm not demeaning
dance, monkey dance.
craft of. No, I don't mean you should be like monkey from postering and jump up and down. Although Jess would like to see that, but that's you still.
Call the other show, man. All right. Well, actually, this is a pretty cool trick. It's one of the first ones that I ever learned. Me and my father were actually sitting down watching a magic special. Now I've come to find out it's David Copperfield, one of my favorites. Right. And everybody's amazed that he can make the Statue of Liberty disappear, jet planes disappear. He floated over the Grand Canyon. I mean, that's an illusion. That's something that really can't happen. So this is something that it looks so real, it almost could be happening. You ever heard of the linking rings, magic linking rings?
I've heard. You've heard of the linking
heard of it?
ring,
Well,
right?
this is the same idea, just on a budget.
Right.
Okay. If I take one rubber band,
This is the under-earning linking rings.
this is the way we do it in the Bronx. So we take one, we put it inside the other. Now the thing is, it's not linked, but it can't come out this way, it can't come out this way, and it can't come out the middle. Your job is going to be to make sure that I'm not cheating and it doesn't come out. Are you ready?
Right. I'm watching.
Okay, good. So
I'm watching.
we'll count to 3 just to make sure. Matter of fact, I don't want you to think I'm cheating. Can you count to 3 for me?
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
And it happens right in front of you. Matter of fact, most people don't believe me when I do that. Can I try it in your hands?
Absolutely.
Is that right here? Point your fingers together.
I went through this with Rogue, where he turned his hand completely around like a clock. Could you do that?
Oh, hell yeah.
It's unbelievable.
It's called a broken arm, dude.
Yeah. It's called being a magician and not having health insurance.
That's exactly it. All right. If you can point your fingers together, there you go, like 2 fists. We'll squeeze tight right there. Squeeze. 2 fists. There you go. This way. You have a good view here. Can you guys see? You got the view here. You got the view here. Now don't slap that back at me.
No.
Idea is if it comes here, you can actually feel it inside there. You feel it there. You feel it there, and you feel it there. But if you look right about there, you see the moment it comes out.
Yes.
Now you see, the thing is, most people don't believe me that it's this rubber band or that one. I'll show you that it's this rubber band. All rubber bands have a trick to them. If you let it go, there's a little black spot right about there. You can actually take it, you can bite it, put it right back together.
That's amazing. He actually did that. He actually bit the rubber band in half.
Go ahead, you break it for me.
He's going to do this with my tax bill later tonight. What?
Go ahead, you break it for me.
Break the rubber band.
Break the rubber band. You really broke it?
Yeah.
It's a $300 rubber band. I'm kidding.
I didn't mean. Now I'm going to get sued.
Don't worry.
From the attorney representing magicians. Well, all 5 boroughs running from job in SpiderMan uniform.
Well, it's real simple. People always want to know, how do you really put it back together? It's 3
That's
steps.
what I want. I've been thinking about that the whole day.
You go 1, 2, and 3. This is one of the major problems that everybody's watching right there. You actually see it goes back together. Now, some people don't like that way. They think that's like a cheating way. What if we were to actually do it where the knot melts itself off the rubber band? But that confuses the rubber band, so we'll take the knot and we'll put it right back on. Matter of fact, here. Now you can dwell on that for the next week.
That's amazing. This is what I call showing up at the job with your rubbers. Gives me new. It's like I go to my next girlfriend. She says, "Did you bring your rubbers tonight?" "Yeah, honey."
Actually, it's latex.
And I've got the.
It's latex. It's not rubber.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, with the reservoir that every man needs to be able to fulfill maximum sexual enjoyment. My God, this looks like one of my relatives after Thanksgiving Day celebration in southern Chechnya. And that's before he started drinking. Jonathan outside? Nah, never mind. Okay, so it feels like a scrotum of proboscis monkey.
You're a working man, aren't you?
Not that I would know. I was going to say spider monkey, but I didn't want to make it like easy association, like Spider-Man costume.
Yeah.
So I did a bit of mental leap. Go to proboscis monkey.
Oh man.
This is great. What the hell is in here?
Well,
it looks like it's like you've got a snack well in the middle of this balloon sack for a maximum sexual enjoyment.
Well, you see, there's a lot of baby daddies out there that when they see a magician, they see him do the cut and restored rope. After he cuts it, he puts it back together. They think, maybe I could have avoided being a baby daddy that way. Now,
They may think that.
They tried it. So they asked me, what happens if like your rubber breaks in the middle of something? So I mean, what else can you do? Matter of fact, would you happen to have a nail on you?
A nail.
A nail.
You don't mean this kind of nail. You mean the other kind.
The other kind of nail. Would you
No.
have a kind of nail on you?
No, well, I've got a ball peen hammer under the desk.
Oh, the pen. The pen works perfectly.
There we go.
All right, do me a favor. Pop. Shit. Now you see, when this happens in the middle of the night, what are you gonna do? You're not gonna run out. You're not gonna try to screw up that situation. So you just take it, blow it up. Do me a favor, blow. That's what she said. There you go. I'm right back.
Do you realize that if my father had that, I wouldn't be sitting here right now?
Exactly.
It was one night in Chechnya.
Mm-hmm.
Now I saw you playing with Railnel before.
Oh yeah.
It was
It's
Railnel.
It's actually something I've been working on. I've been doing shows now for 3 years. This is going on the 4th year in Coney Island.
At the Coney Island Museum.
Right. They actually have a magic night where a lot of performers come from around the world, all over Queens, New York, Bronx, anywhere. And they all come perform there at least twice a month. And a lot of them, there's different types of magic. I don't know if people know that. There's mentalism, which is like mind reading. There's
Or modern therapy, where the therapist pretends to treat you and you pretend to get better.
There you go.
This
That's
could go on
psychic
for
surgery.
years.
That's psychic surgery, actually.
No, it's known as being a good con job on $200 an hour. Well, we've got to stop now.
Isn't that attorneys? No.
No, well, that's $400 an hour.
Well, being that I've performed there so many times, there's a couple of freak show guys that I've met where they wanted to learn some magic. So in return, they taught me something different. Now, again, I like the stuff that looks really real. Now, this is something that is real. So I want you to do me a favor. Make sure that is legit. It doesn't like pull in. It doesn't fall out. Is that real?
This is about as real as it gets.
All right. Now, do me a favor. Check out to see if this is real.
Yep.
Good. All right.
I think we've got that good.
Testing.
We
mic.
have a definite skull.
Now here, check it out. This is the weird part. People actually come to Coney Island and pay top dollar to see something like this. Now you're actually gonna sit here and watch this. That's the weird thing. A lot of people are like, "What is this guy doing?" Well,
I don't have much of a choice. I can sit here or run out of building.
Well, the thing is, I can't put it into my face, but it's only in the center of my face that I can do it. If you look carefully, you actually see the center of my face goes right about here. So there's already a hole there. So
Just remember, you're seeing this on the soon-to-be famous Anatoly D show. Go ahead.
Check this out. Ready? Now, this is an illusion, so make sure you do not try this at home. Kids, do not try this at home. Go to your friend's house, and you tell them not to try it either because it's a dumb trick, okay? It's an illusion. Tell me if this looks real, though. Here. How's that look from there?
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
And me without my camera.
Yeah. How's that look from the camera? Looks good. Looks good? Now, at this point, a lot of people are always like, no, it's not real. So I have to show them that it really is going in there.
What?
There's no way that I'm kidding. Look. See, I'll go all the way around.
You don't have any boogers, do you?
We'll find out soon.
And of course, he's looking at me while he's saying.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's how I know to stop, because you feel it hit back there. But just to make sure, I don't want you to think I'm kidding. Can you point your finger up like this? Okay. Do you feel it in there?
Yeah.
It really is in there.
Yes, it is.
Okay, now,
This would be a great Match.com Starbucks trick.
my Match.com number is 57595.
Everything about you.
Well, yeah. I want you to hold on to this. What I'm going to ask you to do, okay, is to grab onto the edge of this, but do not pull. You just grab, do not pull. I will move back, okay?
Whatever you say.
You sure? Okay, ready, grab.
No problem.
It always works, But just to make sure that you are focused and paying attention, okay? You good? You good?
Okay,
All right, here we go. Ready? Right there. 1, 2, and... Oh, wait. Hold up. Yeah, something went wrong. Here, hold on. Start again. There you go.
Don't sneeze.
Careful, you'll get nailed.
Oh,
right.
my God.
Lean back. Your turn.
That's all right. I don't think so. I don't think so, my friend.
Oh, man. That's actually something called Blockhead.
Yeah.
Very strange, very odd.
So it
performance
basically
style.
goes into its own little...
Its own little crevice.
its own little subway tunnel up there.
Basically, yeah. After a while of creating. Now, it's said that anybody can do that. It's said that a lot of people would be able to take, like, let's say, a Q-tip and just shove it right in. But
Of course, I've been saying that for the years.
Yeah.
I can do that at any time. I'm just not ready. Anytime you could stick that nail in my nose like nobody's business. In fact, 2 nails in nose and 2 in ear. I have no problem with it. I am just not in the mood.
You have a headache, right? That's what it is.
It's just not that time of month. I could maybe get a tampon and put it in, but that's. There we go. This is the rubber band with knot. Put that over here. No, so how long did it take you to learn to do that without going into ICU?
Let me see. I passed out the first, second, and third time. 4th and 5th time, I was...
Did you really pass out? It just goes to show you that, it takes a couple of times to get that whole nailed in the nose thing.
Well, I mean, when you're shoving something this big into something this small, I mean, ask your wife. You should know, right?
No, ask the first one. No, that's actually a compliment. You're not understanding the joke. That was a compliment. That was it. You've got the good Stockengruber thing. It's not.
It's a deck joke.
He was inverting it in his head, as is his wont to do. Alex is the master of the special ed tap dance.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Special ed tap dance.
Yeah.
What is special ed tap dance? I need to know this.
Would you like to see?
I would love to see a special ed tap dance.
We've got to do a little.
Does it come with a helmet and all, or just
Yeah, we will get one.
special ed tap dance?
We've got to get the appropriate music.
I have an alter ego called Special Ed, and this is how it goes.
What kind do you want? Swing, rock, country? What?
And he surprised me.
Okay. Thank you. Only on the Anatoly D show. Okay.
That was beautiful. Dude.
Okay, so let's.
You gotta teach me that.
You've got cards.
Of course.
Jess, get over here. We're gonna do a card trick.
Oh man, here we go. How you doing, bro?
All right.
All right. Omar.
Jesse.
All right. Cool beans.
All right. Back so many years. Remember you when you were embryo. You had watched it
Chernobyl.
in club. You were glowing like Big Ben. It was great. It's amazing he actually grew. He was like this for years. But anyway, yes, go ahead.
All right, well, he wants me to try a deck trick on you, so we did the deck jokes already, right?
All hands on deck, right?
Did you say the duck jokes?
Well, what I want you to do is, out of all these cards, I don't want you to think I'm cheating. Matter of fact, you decide on a card. You flip through them, see whatever you like. All right? Got it. Take it out. Show it to them.
Can I show the camera?
Please, feel free.
I feel free.
He always feels free. That's the problem.
Born free.
Born free.
Don't show it to him.
All right. Well. Oh, it's all right. Don't worry. Well, the idea is, whether I see it or not, you can show it to them. What I want you to do is just say stop for me.
Stop.
See, because I'm not going to do the trick. Do you want this half or this half?
That.
That half. You got to hold on to that. All right. Then I'll take that card back. Now, the thing is, I've actually trained this pack of cards to do the trick for me, okay?
I just switched cards. Was that okay?
That's perfectly fine.
Okay.
Because even though you switch the card that you place back in here,
Yeah.
that's the one that's going to be found by the entire pack. Now, I've trained this card so well that all they have to do is think about your card. You have the card?
Fond memories.
It's a blue card, right?
On the back, yeah.
Very good. The front, it's a black card.
It's
No.
not a black card.
That means it's red.
See, 50-50 shot.
Right.
Right.
See, a couple questions and we narrow it down. Was it a
Right.
club?
No, remember it was a...
Good. And testing your memory, see? Now, you have your card in your mind. Thought about it, right?
Yeah.
Are you actually
Are
watching
you
it?
going to think...
This trick's going to be going on for another 2 days, but so it just gets.
I'm thinking it. Is that it?
There you go.
No way.
Well, it's been going on the entire time, see? Matter of fact, this card is actually a very well-trained card. And I'm glad that you picked it because no matter where you place that card, it never stays where I want it to stay. Look,
No?
if I take that 10 of hearts and I push it out for you to see it, can you see your card?
I can see
I
it.
push it down in there. I push it in. I push it in. All I want you to do is a game called 3-Card Monte. Have you ever heard of that game?
Yeah.
All right, can you point to the card? Yeah. A little closer.
I think it's this one.
Good. Now, if I were to do it like this, can you point to your card again?
Somewhere in the middle.
Well, you see, by doing that stimulates the pack, and we don't want to do that. See, by you doing that, it brings it to the top.
His
We didn't
finger's
want to
very
test
stimulating.
I seen that. Now, that's not what we wanted to do, but just to make sure you're watching it carefully, I want you to do me a favor. You're going to push it in for me, okay? Be gentle, though. It's my first time. Go ahead. You got it?
Yeah.
What?
Who's eating my card? What is this?
Omar used to have a 3-card Monte racket in Elmhurst, Queens.
Well, actually, a lot of people keep seeing it jump up when I do it this way. We're going to try it so it jumps down. Here, watch carefully. I don't know if you can get a good view of that. But right there in front of you, you're going to see the moment it jumps down. Watch. 1, 2, 3, and boom. It actually goes. Now, people often wonder, they think it's the next card. It's not the next card. It's not the card after that. That's the King of Hearts. You had a different card. Is that right? See, it's the ink on this one that you got to watch carefully. As long as you watch the ink, you'll see the moment it comes back. Now, if we want, we take it. Look. Just like that, it's gone again. You know where it goes?
Where did it go?
Wouldn't it be weird if it was in my pocket?
What pocket?
Check this out. Boom, right here. In my pocket.
What?
Thank you.
All right. All right. This is
I picked
amazing.
a red card just for you, Anatoly.
You know, you're missing your call. You could have been a pickpocket. You can make $1,000 a day
We're looking at watches in here. Man.
working at the subways in New
I
York.
appreciate it. Thank you very much.
It's amazing. So you were telling me before about that you had a very bad experience with a dove where you listened, and now you see the dove, and you're flying. And I was telling Rogue that like for a dove, it's got to be like post-traumatic stress syndrome because 1 minute they're in the box, the next minute they're in a VFW hall, with Johnny No Neck, Tommy No Ass, Freddie One Eye, Tommy Shin, Freddie the Geek. Lou the retard, it's like, the dove's flopping around. He's freaking out.
Oh,
Special ed cameraman, tap dancer. It's like,
That's when you go get the papers, get
so
the
like,
papers.
I was thinking it's got to be traumatic for a dove. But in this case, you've got the dove that had the goddamn heart attack before you did trick.
Well, I didn't know that that's what happened.
You
all
dove killer,
What happened was, there was, all right, again, I work for another entertainment company, and normally before we leave for the shows, all the bags are around in this certain area. So the boss wanted to show off and try to jump over all the bags. He just happened to land on one of them, which he didn't know what was inside. So me rushing to my show, I just get the dove ready, place it inside of the secret compartment and all that, and I go to produce him in the middle of the show, and like Tommy No Neck, he just kind of
I don't believe that. I don't. You're blaming it on your boss. I think you showed up with a dead. You showed up with a dead dove. You wanted to save money. How many doves do you go through a year?
Honestly, I've had the same dove for the past 5 years now.
Oh yeah. What about rabbits?
What about rabbits?
How many rabbits?
One rabbit. I've learned my lesson on that, actually. I used to have 3 rabbits, which turned into 15, which turned into 30. Never again.
You have one rabbit now.
One rabbit.
What's his name? Bernie?
One rabbit. Her name is Carmela.
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 And she knows the tricks?
Oh, well, she knows the trick. She hangs out with the dove.
She does. You're saying you've got to hook a rabbit. The rabbit does a trick.
I should have named her Jessica, right?
My God. He shows up with dead dove and hook a rabbit. I don't go. What kind of acts am I getting on show?
Well, you're automatically assuming it's kid shows, though.
I was assuming it was for I was assuming it was people who are
okay.
not a member of Russian mafia or CIA or hit squad from Colonel Gaddafi.
Why else would I dress like this if I wasn't performing? For
You look like a Spanish Run DMC. That's right. We go from one moment to the next.
That's it. Keep it running.
So let's come on. We've got all these. Look at you've got more tricks in there than 8th Avenue. 8th Avenue at 4 a.m. on a hot summer's night. A bit too many words. Okay. Rewrite.
Okay. Reprint.
You've got more. Got it. You've got more tricks in there than South Street in Newark. Getting there.
All right. Well, we could do something simple, or we could do something a little bit more stagey.
I want to stage it.
Stagey.
Very stagey.
All right. Follow me. Well, a lot of people don't really understand what magic is. So what I like to do is I normally ask the audience exactly what they feel magic is. People often say illusion, but I want to know exactly what they mean by the word illusion. Well, what would you say illusion is to you?
My tax returns.
There you go. Something that could be there, but that's not really.
Not
right?
really,
Basically
no.
something like that. Well, we're going to say that this rope is reality. Okay? Can you guys see
I'll go with that.
This rope is reality. Now, real simple. If you have a rope, there's 2 ends to it and 1 middle. This is where we're going to go use imagination. It's kind of an illusion. If you were to cut here in the middle, that now makes 2 ropes. Now, I'm going to ask you guys to really think about this. If I were to really have 2 ropes here, that would have how many ends to them? Most people would say 4. How many middles would the 2 ropes have? 2. Now, this is where it gets a little complex. I'm going to ask you to really use your imagination here and picture what it would be like if I had a rope and a half. See, people don't ever understand what that means. How many ends would a rope and a half have?
Yeah, it's pretty complex because you've got the rope, you've got 2 ends. So where's the half? Because you've got the half of rope, that would mean it'd be 4 ends because it's 2 ropes, not 1 rope.
Well, if you would look carefully, you actually see how many ends to the rope.
You've got 3 ends to rope.
3 ends to the rope.
3 ends, yeah.
Now you see, even though there's 3 ends to the rope and only 1 middle, some people still say that there's supposed to be 4 ends to a rope and a half. But that would make no sense because 4 ends would actually be to a rope that has another rope. That would be 2 ropes. So if we were to take these 2 ends over here, slide them down over here, you can actually see that these 2 ends up here and these 2 ends down here, when you divide them, that actually does make the 2 ropes. Are you with me so far?
I want to know where the woman is who you're going to tie up later.
Well, that's the tricks we were talking about later.
That's right. I'm
We're
going to
gonna
try
take
that. I'm going to try that with my wife when she's got good and juiced enough with bad vodka.
Well, we'll simplify
Doesn't
the
take much.
idea with...
She's a cheap date.
You're going to put her up on the blind date, Kyle?
Her vision is way too good.
Well,
Blinddate.com, when the braille won't lie.
Well, the idea is now, instead of using numbers, letters, and all that, we'll use a shape. This is a circle, and that's a circle. And, shit, dude, I got thrown off because of that. All right, we'll start again. When we started from the beginning...
That's okay. Half of my audience is so stoned, they don't know what's going on anyway.
Oh, even better. So this trick will last you like in the next hour or so. Well, the idea is...
Like, hey, man, look at that. Fucking 4 ends of a rope. That is so great.
All right, normally when I do this type of trick with the rope, people think that I'm using a trick rope. And in order for them not to think so, I normally give it to them to untie. So, I'm going to untie it for you so you can see it. Often there's a trick called, it's a classic magic called the cut and restored rope. I don't like to do that because it makes no sense. Why are you going to cut the rope in order to restore it? Why'd you cut it in the first place? So, if we were to actually take the 2 ends, we're going to do a little bit of wordplay here. These 2 ends are going to be in my pocket. Okay? Now, even though the 2 ends are in my pocket, we're going to play an illusion right over here. The illusion is to make it look like there's a knot. With my hands there, it gives the illusion. But if I move my hand, you actually still keep the illusion of the knot being there. Now let's think of the word knot. It's a weird word when you think about it or when you don't think about it, right? Because if you look at the knot, is the knot really there or is it not? Because the knot was never really there to begin with, because you can't tie a knot into a rope that actually has no ends to it to begin with. See, the weird thing is you actually saw the ends fall off. The ends are right over here. We can actually take them.
Well, now you're making ends meet.
Right here, dead in the center. Matter of fact, just to be safe, I want you to watch it carefully. You'll see the moment that the fibers mend itself back together, back to one rope. Now, at this point, people always ask, if they haven't seen it by now, how to do the cut and restored rope. So I'm going to need your help for this. From right there. Just at any point, say stop.
Stop.
Right there. See, we chop it right there so you actually make it nice and... Well, the thing is, it's supposed to be even. Now, even would look something like this. You had me cut it somewhere over here. That's a little too much, so you know what? We're going to try it a different way. We're going to bring it up over here, so this way we have one long rope and one short rope, so you see the moment that they actually merge themselves back together. We'll do it right here, just like so. Now, you tell me, can you see the little rope? Can you see the little rope wrap?
Yep.
Okay, watch. We're going to take it, and if I do this, the illusion is, it starts to hypnotize your eyes to see an optical illusion of the small rope getting smaller. If I keep doing it, you actually see the moment that the little rope shrinks itself back into the big rope. It actually gets smaller and smaller until all you're left with is one little knot. We take that knot, watch, we tie it right there and back to one rope.
Hey, excellent.
Wow.
That's amazing.
14 years of my life.
14 years into one rope. You are married.
Yeah, that means I had no life, dude.
What did your wife do? Was she in show business?
Huh?
Was your wife in show business?
Well, that's why she's my ex-wife, because she was a trick.
Well, she wasn't really a trick. You're probably a very conservative guy who is probably married to a woman who's like very into domestic values.
Let me explain.
Not like
something.
into being tied up or bringing in hooker rabbits or dead doves.
Well, actually, my mistake was being a young, naive person. I got married at 18.
18 years old. There
Divorced
should be a law.
Divorced at 20.
A law
so,
against
yeah,
it.
I learned my lesson already.
But so young. That's a great age to learn.
Yeah, to learn not to
that
do it
marriage
again.
is essentially doesn't work.
Exactly. It was a lesson well learned.
Okay, how many happily married people are out there? See? It doesn't. My God, I'm looking good tonight. Anyway, so 18 years old.
Yeah.
So it must have been 2 years of absolute hell.
Oh, dude, I was happy.
Were you?
Yeah, and then I got married.
Then you got.
But, oh my God.
Because it's like she was bringing her vision of what the home should be like, and you were bringing your vision, and you had conflicts, right?
Well, I was bringing my vision. She was bringing another guy's. So.
She was bringing another guy.
That's where the mesh didn't go so well.
No, it's not so good. You could have done the rope trick on them. How about, hey guy,
That was a gun trick.
I've got a couple of nails I want to hammer into your nose, but you're not going to go 3 times. We're going to do it all tonight.
Well, even though I had the nail, she was the one getting nailed. So I mean, nothing you can do about that.
My God, this is clearly a woman who has many family of origin issues.
Oh, big time.
Many issues.
But that's another story for another time.
This is like this remnant of an excessive tank for sensory pleasure, brought to you by Omar Illusion. Okay, you can do these as their own, like, market them as magic condoms.
Well, actually, there is this one illusion I do. I actually did it at this nightclub like 2 weeks ago. I'm going to be back there again March 30th. I'm going to be opening up for George Lamond. He's like a freestyle salsa singer back in the 80s, 90s. And it was an adult crowd, so I didn't know what to do. So all the time, magicians break something and put something back together. So I figured, like you were saying, a rubber. Why not have a rubber break and put it back together? So
I mean, it's very close to the balloon animals.
Same concept.
You start with the balloon animal. What?
You can only make 1 or 2 things out of it.
Absolutely. Well.
It's either work
How
or
many
snake.
more things do you need to make? I mean, really? No. Well, clearly, no. I think that's not good enough. No, we're going to make into Gumby. No, I don't think so.
Well, if it doesn't work, you still make something.
So you were saying you do this trick for adults with
Well, the idea is it's all basically play. Like I'm not the typical magician where I say, "Hey, look at this," and you're amazed. No, I try to make it fun. I try to make it funny. So it's a little 21 and over. So what I do is I hand her the condom. I ask her to open it up, open it, make sure that she opens it right. If not, I have to open up another one. She blows it up for me and pop. Then, what do we do next? Well, the next concept is, of course, put it back together. But now this is where the fun part. I put it in her hand, and I asked her to massage it. Rub it a little bit. Yeah, blow on it. Blowing it again. Ooh, dirty girl.
And then she gets a naked dove.
Oh, man. Well, after that, actually, I have her reblow it to show that it's back together. And then I have a gentleman who actually has a regular, like, kids balloon, the 260 ones, the long
Do you believe this stuff? I mean, this sounds like something out of like 1890 Kellogg's orgasm machine, where the inventor of cornflakes used to say to women who are having trouble with orgasms, "Go into my orgasmatic machine, and you will come like Metro North on 8:40 in the morning. You'll be pulling out of Rosalind at 9:59." It has that turn of the century sexual accoutrement
basically
type thing.
It's all wordplay, and it's just having a good time. I mean, how much can you really amaze an audience that is at 1:00 in the morning, half drunk, and just
Yeah. Well, do you have any tricks with vibrators?
Not me. No, thank you.
Like maybe the dancing vibrators, you turn them on, and they just sort of like.
I mean, there was one a friend showed me, but I don't live in the village. But thank you, though.
John, that's for you. The dancing vibrator reference. You know who you are. But he's got the risque. Mm-hmm. We had a show a couple of months ago with the guy, and he was an expert on everything never to do with a woman in bed, ever. And he was an example of negative mental attitude of how he could totally screw up sex every time.
Okay.
And he would talk about envisioning everything bad. He couldn't get the woman into bed without making sure that she had a cup of hot chocolate, nice flannel pajamas, whether she's comfy. Exactly, you're getting sick to your stomach as I'm saying. That's exactly right. It was very funny. And we were talking about ways of condoms, that you have to sort of pre-cut the condom, that you open up the package, because sometimes you
accidentally.
You don't want to. Well, you'll get that moment where you've got to put it on, and it's like very awkward. It's like it's at night, and it's like you've got to find a little perforated thing. How do I get it open? So it's one of those things. So now, what you do at the Wax Museum for adults? You do. Ripley's, but leave it or not.
Yeah, I was like, wait, Wax Museum. Wait.
Not the Wax. I was thinking of Madam.
A little too kinky.
Yeah, that's right. So.
Actually, yeah, I've been working out with Ripley's Times Square for, I'm going to say 2 going on 3 years. I'm their main entertainer when it comes to like family stuff. They hire out a certain room in there for like private parties, and I'm the entertainer. I also provide the concessions. For New Year's, I did their DJing, lighting, sound with a couple of friends of mine. And yeah, they've enjoyed it that much that it's a mix of everything, you know. We're able to do the nightclub thing along with the stand-up thing and a little bit of magic for the kids and keep everybody happy.
Is there anything unbelievable?
Unbelievable.
About Ripley's?
Should have seen her. 2 brains. Very smart.
That what's I know why I do what I do, and because the meds didn't work. But in your case, what's your why do you want to be a magician?
Well, all right. I used to. All right. My father has been doing computers, and he knows how to do this and that just by reading and watching stuff. So my entire life, I always wanted to do what my father couldn't. So we went into a magic shop one day, and this magician asked my father to come over. He showed him a coin trick, and at the end of the coin trick, the magician is wearing my father's watch. That just got me like, whoa. My father didn't see it. He didn't feel it. Nothing. It was on his wrist, and it went to the magician's wrist.
My wife does the same trick. Before she was married, I had a lot of money in the bank. Now she does.
Poof, and it's gone.
Amazing.
Yeah, man.
So that you looked at that and said, my God, that's phenomenal. I want to do that.
Because he was surprised and amazed, and I wanted to shock just like that. And of course, he didn't know how to do it, so therefore, I had to know. And from that point on, I learned quite a few magic tricks, but I didn't actually learn them to perform magic. I learned them to do things like the watch and pickpocketing and scams, three-card money, things like that. You ever heard of three-card money?
Yeah, now let's show the audience exactly how it works.
Three-card money?
Yeah, three-card
money. I don't have the small version, but
Well, it's just because like the summer, it's going to be warm pretty soon, and there's be guys on 34th Street with the boxes,
right,
and putting the cards on top. It'll be good to. There we go. We blew out the microphone. Put that over here.
All right. Well, the concept is it's only 3 cards that are being used. Okay. Now, in order for this to work, you have to concentrate on which card we're going to be using.
Right.
Okay. Now, sometimes people don't often know which one to watch. Okay. There's 3 different ones. Sometimes they say watch a spot card. Sometimes they say watch the queen, get the green. It all depends on how you're looking at it. Okay. But the idea is to shuffle the cards. Easy enough. And put one to the side. Now, do you believe you know exactly which card was put to the side? See, not everybody always gets it correct. It's 33 1/3%. Okay? Now, we're going to try this one more time. We're going to simplify it. Now, this is where it gets interesting because we actually ask people to make a bet at this point. Okay? Now, how much would you actually bet?
$5.
5? Okay, we'll start with 5. Now, if we would have placed this on the side, you know exactly which card was placed to the side unless you didn't. Because the cheat will never actually let you watch to see that he keeps the card in his hand. He never places it down to begin with. You guys with me?
We're watching.
This is the type of stuff that I used to do at my uncle's house. I would actually shuffle these up in front of his friends and ask him to try to keep up on where the card went. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to work exactly right, but let me see. I'm going to make this as simple as possible, okay? All I want you to do is tell me which one is not the ace. Of course, you're going to point to a different card. Now, that's fairly simple enough to watch. This is where I get them to gamble. This is where I get them to actually go ahead and give me some cash, okay? We take the ace, we place it on the side. Now I ask them which one is no longer the jack. Easy, right? It's not the jack. Because you're seeing the jack, you would point to that one automatically. You wouldn't think that I would have cheated the entire time. Because I've never actually took the ace out to begin with. And that's called scamming.
I'm going to begin my life of crime tomorrow. Could I borrow that? I want to hit the Grand Central Station.
Well, you want the big deck?
I want the big deck.
Bigger's always better.
Well, thank you very much, Omar, for coming out.
No problem. Thank you guys for having me.
Do you want to plug your website, as we shamelessly do?
Yes, please. Guys, come check me out at viberightcorp.com. I have my magic shows every Friday night in Queens. I also have a couple of dates coming up. Actually, tomorrow night, I'm going to be at the Brooklyn Council of the Arts, doing a little bit of a plug for Coney Island, which we begin, I believe, in May. And after that, on Thursday, I'm going to be, one second, let me find it. There we go. Thursday, I'm going to be at the Lost and Found show. It's a Good Luck Charms event. That's Thursday, March 21st at Happy Ending Lounge, 302 Broome Street, New York City, 7:30 to 9:30. It is free entrance.
And I'm going to be at the Kew Gardens, by the way, looking for your rabbit. But anyway, I want to end this show with a little tune. A friend of mine from San Francisco went into another dimension. I don't mean Berkeley. She is hopefully in a better place. And this tune is for her. Until next week, remember Hogan's Diner, home of the Nyack salad.
From the Palisades Center and a block off exit 11 of the New York State Thruway is Rockland's favorite diner, Hogan's Nyack Diner, where the elite meet to eat.
I come to Hogan's Nyack Diner for the friendly atmosphere, the great food, the generous portions, and the reasonable prices.
Hogan's Nyack Diner offers senior discounts, breakfast and lunch specials. Come see why we're the hometown favorite.
We love Hogan's Nyack. Hey!
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank Rogue for bringing Omar here tonight. Great guy. And what's Rogue's?
Rogue's Magic and Fun Shop on Queens Boulevard. I believe it's roguemagicfunshop.com.
That's right. And let me tell you, Rogue, he gives a new meaning to the term twisting your arm. But thank you very much. Remember, Hogan's Diner when you're in Nyack. Das Fidonia. See you next week. Amelia, use that cape out.
It's not just radio, it's Rockland World Radio. RocklandWorldRadio.com.